Thanks to the support as a channel member, Liam Cooney. Well, here we go then, Mrs. Wearmouth. New look team, new look division. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, I realise I have to be because we've gone over the wage budget again. I promise, last time, we're going up this year, it'll be fine. Hello and welcome to part 24 of Holiday Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode with our first two games of the new season. We're away against Intercity and at home against San Lueno. I feel like we've played Intercity's B team before and now we've got their main team. Is that a thing that could have happened? No, it's not. Then we've played Intercity before. So we have moved over to a new league. We're now in Group 4, still at Tier 4. Don't tell Mrs. Wearmouth. But we are now in Group 4 rather than Group 3. So most of the teams this year are teams we've not played before. But there are a few familiar faces. Intercity are definitely one of them. Elche B definitely are a team that we've had run-ins in the past. I think Malaga were in the same league as us last year as well. So there's a few familiar teams at this level. I have to say, though, if this is supposed to be regionalised, Seville is nowhere near Benidorm. I mean, I'm trying to put a map of Spain in my head. Seville and Benidorm are on opposite sides, aren't they? Isn't Seville, like, right in the north of Spain underneath? I don't need a map. I think they're far away. So I think the regionalisation, the deeper we go in, is becoming less and less regionalised. But we're not here to discuss maps. We could do... We're not here to discuss maps. We are here to win some football matches. Because remember, we are favourites to win the title. We had a good transfer window. That's the wrong button. That's the one we want. We are favourites to win the league. And we're going to go and do exactly that. We're away against Intercity. Intercity are expected to finish mid-table. We're going to thump them. But remember, we have to do that first thumping without Alex Boxall, who is suspended after what he did in the playoffs, the silly boy. But we do have new faces in key positions. So the team, new boy in goal, Adrian Romero, who was Levante B's title-winning goalkeeper last year in the league that we were in. We've got Gerard Gonzalez at left back, formerly of Barcelona. And since leaving Barcelona, I mean, that's not the only impressive thing about him. He's not just formerly Barcelona. He's also, over the last 4 years, played 60 games at a level above where we currently are as well. So lots of experience and some good pedigree with him. Ezra Carrington at right back, formerly of Manchester City. And then Ivan and Joffrey, familiar faces. We know all about them. Our new backup holding midfielder, Sai Maggio, is at the base of the midfield. And then Isra and Rabiu ahead of him. Martinez Perez on the left, Fakal on the right, and Kevin Carlos now fit again up front. And we've got a few more of the new faces down on the bench. Most interesting of all, Ivan Luis, who is our new backup striker, who is on almost as much money as Kevin Carlos is. And it'll be interesting to see him get a go during this game. He's not fully fit at the moment. And if the goalkeeper isn't good, we've got a 6'4" backup goalkeeper, Angel Jimenez, as well. So we've got a few new faces, but the core of the team is last year's team. What was selection advice trying to get me to do there? Play Christian Martin. No. You're all right. I won't do that if that's all the same with you. Right, we've got this thing again where we have to swap around squad numbers. What position is this guy? He's a right winger. So he can have... I guess he can have that number. We're only allowed 22 people in the squad, but you're allowed to play under 19s without registering them. But at the same time, you're still only allowed to use the squad numbers 1 to 22. It was a weird little quirk last year. It's a weird little quirk this year as well. And it means that we're regularly having to change squad numbers around, which seems like, what's the point of having squad numbers if we're having to change them? Gonzalez has Gerard on his shirt rather than his surname, which is an interesting one. And there is our first look at Ezra Carrington, second highest paid player at the club at right back. So I'm expecting big things from him. I think I might have been blinded by the fact I recognised his name from the Manchester City save that we did before this one. Although that is a lovely ball forward for Kevin Carlos. Little Kev has his first goal of the season. Carrington has his first assist of the season. And we're 1-0 up. after less than 2 minutes. And this is what this season's going to be, boys and girls. We're just going to be doing all the goals, winning all the matches. And that's good work from Carrington and very good work from little Kevin Carlos. And I've said it multiple times over the last several episodes. If we keep him fit all year and have him all year, there is no scenario where he doesn't score 30 plus goals this year. He is an absolute monster. We've just got to keep him fit and he will fire us to the next level. Also looking forward to seeing Rabiot play a full season at central midfield. Big 6'4" future captain, our Patrick Vieira, our big, strong central midfield guy. Very excited about him. And yeah, there's lots of reasons to be very excited about this football team. Fakal trying to remind me that he's still one of them. Carrington bursting up there to support him and Ivan just comfortably nodding it down to Isra, and it's back with Carrington again. Looks like so far everything's going through Ezra Carrington, and he's almost got himself another assist. Rabiot nods it into the post, it bounces back, and of course Kevin Carlos is first to the rebound to make it 2-0, and we already look like a different team to that team that we were just done at the end of last year. We've talked about it a little bit already. I'm not gonna labour the point too much, but we'd never played that many games in a season before. We were tired. We're semi-pro. We were struggling with playing as many games as we'd played, and we'd lost our key man in the shape of Carlos. But even before he got injured, he'd fallen out of form because he hadn't had a pre-season. He wasn't fully fit, and this is what he's like when he's had a pre-season and he's fully fit. His hat-trick is complete 19 minutes into the season. Oh, boys and girls, we're going to have a lovely time this year if we keep that man fit. The danger, of course, is Football Manager is going to notice what's going on and just hobble him. He's going to get an injury. He's going to get himself sent off. He's going to get his head turned. There's no way it's going to let me have a striker scoring 4 or 5 goals a match. It's just not going to allow it. But at the moment, goodness me, do we look good? And goodness me, does he look good? It's into Carlos again. Carlos is just unplayable. And Rabiot coming out of midfield, causing all kinds of problems as well. 25 minutes in, it is Intercity 0, Holme 4. Welcome to Group 4, everybody. I said this was a good team. It's obviously the best team we've put together in the entire save. We were really unlucky not to get promoted last year. The majority of these boys should be playing in the 3rd tier now, and they're angry about it, and they're going to take that anger out on the teams at this level over the course of this season. Ivan now hitting the crossbar with the opportunity to make it 5 on the half hour. We're going to do a cricket score here, boys and girls. And this is without Alex Boxall, who is our best player on paper and on performances, realistically, over the last few years. Maybe Kevin Carlos aside, but Alex Boxall is a key man for us, and we're doing this without him. That's how good we are. Sai Maggio isn't any good. But Alex Boxall slotting in there, oh, it's just going to get better and better and better. 4-0 at half-time. Give me more goals, boys. I'm having a very nice evening. Martinez Perez is in and is brought down, and that's a penalty. And this is an opportunity for a 4th goal for Carlos and a 5th goal for us. Carlos should be the penalty taker, I think. It is Kevin Carlos to step up to grab his 4th goal of the first day of the season. We are 5-0 up. Let me know down in the comments section how many goals you think Kevin Carlos is going to end this season on, because he could be setting all kinds of records. I think as a channel, the best performance we've ever had in a 1-season goal return. And I might be getting a little ahead of myself, but I think Jorge Hernandez, back in the Born in the USA save several years ago now, I think he had a 60-goal season once. I think that was his best, a 60-goal season. Can we drag a 60-goal season out of Kevin Carlos, bearing in mind he's only got 34 league games to do it in? I'm getting too overexcited. He's going to snap his ACL before the end of the match, isn't he? He's rushing around all over the place like he needs to. Don't cause... I mean, he's on a yellow card. Do I take him off here? He's on a 10 out of 10, but he's on a yellow card. And obviously, most recently, was injured. This is his first competitive game back from injury. We've got a young striker on the bench who needs match time. I'm wondering if do we take Carlos off or do we just let him keep going and see how many goals he can get? He's clearly having a nice afternoon. Romero plays it forward, looking for Carlos, but it ends up with Fakal on the right-hand side. Carlos bursting forward into the middle to try and get onto the end of it. And, that looked like it rolled across the top of the crossbar. That was a sort of ball that was made for Ignacio Pearce. And that's the one thing that Carlos doesn't really do. He doesn't link up with Fakal the way Pearce always used to. Although Fakal has just lumped it forward for Carlos. And this is Carlos just running at defenders, causing them all manner of problems, holds it up well, plays it back to Fakal, and now Rabiu is forward, Martinez Perez is forward, and there's Rabiu with his second of the day. It's 6-0, and Rabiu is in danger of being overshadowed this season by Kevin Carlos, but this switch to central midfield, if we can keep both him and Martinez Perez fit, Rabiu is going to be sensational playing in this role as the Mazzala, and he's showing it today. 2 goals out of central midfield already. Oh my word. I'm having a nice time. This, after the last few episodes, this feels good. I think we can probably make some changes now, can't we? It's 6-0 up. Let's try some things. So Kevin Carlos can get his standard ovation. Ivan Luis isn't really a pressing forward. So he can't really do the same role in the same way. Although, to be fair, I guess the one thing he can't really do is work rate. So maybe we just make him an advanced forward rather than a pressing forward. He wants to be a deep lying forward, and I am not interested at all in having a deep lying forward in the team. So we're certainly going to get him on. And I think we're going to make a few more changes while we're here. Let's look at some more of the new boys. We've got Markel Jimenez, who is a right back who can also play centre back. I think it's a little harsh to take Carrington off, so I think I'm actually going to bring him on at centre-back for Ivan, and we'll see how he plays at centre-back on his debut. And then I think we take off Fakal and allow Ivan the opportunity to, one of the other Ivans, right-winger Ivan, not that one. We've got to give these some nicknames, haven't we? But we've said we want Ivan to push past Fakal this season, so let's give him opportunities to. He's got 25 minutes here when we're 6-0 up. That seems like a pretty good opportunity to try and push past Ivan Fakal, who, despite us being phenomenal and scoring 6 goals today, Fakal was on a 6.7. So we've managed to do this despite our captain and key part of our attack not really turning it on at all today. Carrington's looked really good, which I'm going to constantly mention because there was a little bit of suspicion that I might have overpaid a little for Carrington, and Kevin Carlos has 5 goals today. We're taking him off. I feel like maybe I shouldn't let him get his double hat trick. He has just set the record. He's broken his own record for goals in a match, which was 4 goals, which he achieved for us last season. He's now made it to 5 for today. Yeah, there's no benefit to keeping him on the pitch. We don't just need him to set a high score for goals in a match. Let's have a look at Luis up there, because what we need to do is make sure we're not just a one-man team. We need to have a plan B for if Carlos gets injured at a key point of the season again, like he did last year. Ivan looked fairly comfortable cutting in off the right-hand side there, which was a nice thing to see. Doesn't look out of place. It's a big season for him. And Carrington now with the in-swinging corner, looking for Jimenez, who hits the crossbar, and there's Rabiu for his hat-trick. That's Rabiu on a hat-trick, or completing the hat-trick, to go with Carlos and his... I wonder if Carlos will let Rabiu keep the match ball, because Rabiu has never scored a hat-trick before. Carlos is going to get one most weeks, but Rabiu has been brilliant today, playing out of central midfield. Remember, not his natural position. He's still not a natural central midfielder, but he has looked fantastic there today. And now I think we probably can take him off, let him have his moment, his little standing ovation. And then I think we're also going to take off Sai Maggio and give Christian David 10 minutes playing as holding midfielder, which, if he's got a future here at home, it's going to be playing in that position, because I think now we've got Ivan and Joffrey quite established as our centre-backs, both big, strong boys. I don't necessarily see a reason to ever play Christian David at centre-back again. That was a good little double save from Romero as well. That was we're all plaudits going forward today, but that was quite nice when we used to Fajardo, wasn't it? Luis picks the ball up nicely. I tell you what, he looked sharp there for a man who's not match fit. He looked pretty sharp there. Hits the crossbar, has the chance to put us 9-0 up. We've been very good at football today. It has finished Intercity 0, Holme 8, Rabiot with a hat-trick, Carlos with the other 5. We are going up as bleeping champions, boys and girls. Well, as you can imagine, not making sweeping changes for the San Lueno game after what just happened. The one change is Alex Boxall coming back in. His suspension is over, and we need to make it very clear to everyone involved that he is our first choice in this role. And I think this is, at the moment, our first choice 11. There's the chance it changes as the season goes on, particularly in this position. But this is pretty much the 11 that I had planned at the start of the year. So fingers crossed we can put on another spectacular performance. Remember, this is our first home game of the season. In fact, how good are San Lueno supposed to be? They are... So they're a little bit better than Intercity, but of course we're at home in this match. So frankly, I'm expecting 8 goals again. I don't want much. I just want us to win every game 8-0 because I can't emphasize enough how much I enjoyed that. Now, I know, again, it's very early to be talking along these lines, but if it becomes apparent that that's happening all the time, don't worry. You're not going to get 4 or 5 episodes in a row of us winning 6-0 because I fully appreciate that is much more boring than watching me bottle a promotion and cry about it. So if it looks like we are just going to run away with this league, and I know it's very early days, but if it looks like we're running away with the league, we'll probably get it wrapped up in 2 or 3 episodes because, you know, you get the idea. If we're going to keep thumping everybody, just imagine it happening. If you want to see it happen in real time, watch it on Twitch. Go and watch the goals fly in on lollujo 2. But we don't need multiple days of YouTube videos of it happening. So we'll probably get through. If we have another big win here, which fingers crossed, looks like it might be happening. If we have another big win here, we will probably plow through quite the chunk of matches before tomorrow's video, just to make sure that we don't, I don't see any reason to drag it out any longer than it needs dragging out. More than anything else, I'm very keen to get into the next division up as soon as possible, just like I'm sure you are after what happened last year. I am still, there's still a big part of me that's still very sad about it. And I certainly need a season of relative comfort and ease. So I'm hoping that's what's happening here. Rabiot with the in-swinging corner. It's Ivan at the far post and it's 2-0. And we're good at football, everybody. That's Ivan's first ever goal. That's centre-back Ivan who's just scored there, which, to be honest, that's a little bit of a surprise. He's been playing pretty regularly at centre-back for us for the last year and a half. You would have expected him to score from a corner by now, but, first of many, hopefully. He's now playing in a wonderful team that's going to do wonderful things. We've already got a goal difference of 10. It's not even half-time in the second match of the season. Oh, I am genuinely so happy. This is lovely. Everyone who picks on me on the days when it all goes wrong, please, just for today, tell me I'm great. I'd like that. I'd like a day where everything goes right in the video and then the comment section are all really nice to me. I'll have such a smile. It would be lovely. Please and thank you. That's my message. No one's going to... I realise we're going to get like 3 comments today and they're going to be all... It'll be some guy telling me the 3 things I've mispronounced. YouTube. Right, come on. Where's Carlos? Has Carlos gone off the boil? Have we broken him? Why has Carlos not scored yet today? I want him to get 60 goals this year. Ball forward, looking for Kevin Carlos, who... it was dealt with quite comfortably by their defender, but it's now Martinez Perez playing it forward to Rabiot, and this is where we're going to be dangerous. These overloads on that left-hand side when we've got Barcelona boy Gonzalez linking up with Martinez Perez, and then you've got Rabiot drifting out there as well. We've got 3 players over on that side, and we're just going to outnumber all teams all the time, and you saw it there. There's nobody picking up Rabiot because they're keeping an eye on these 2, as they should be, and then Rabiot gets to pick out the perfect pass to Kevin Carlos, and he's never going to miss from there. He is now averaging a hat-trick a game. That's 6 goals in a game and a half for Kevin Carlos, and we're just playing very well again. Oh, it's please don't concede a goal. I'd quite like to never concede a goal as well as doing all the scoring. I think if we suddenly look good defensively, it kind of vindicates spending as much money as I have on goalkeepers and the new defenders that we've drafted in. Our fullbacks cost so much more than our poor little centre-backs who aren't on very much money. But Romero certainly is looking worth every penny at the moment. He's not been called on a lot in these first couple of matches, but when he has, he looks very comfortable, very safe. No fear when the ball comes into our penalty area. Ever since we had Fajardo and Christian David, to be honest, having the little people back there, there was always that fear. Every time the ball came towards our defenders, there was always fear. And I'm not feeling the fear today. And there's Carlos, and Carlos missed. Oh, not sure how I feel about that. That was unexpected. In fact, Carlos is tiring. So I think we can probably take him off again, let him have a little bit of a rest. This is our second game in 4 days. We are very much not used to playing this much football. We've never really had to do it. So we do need to be careful with the boys in situations like this. Alex Boxall wasn't fully fit going in, so Sai Maggio can come on for him. And every opportunity I get to bring Ivan on for Fakal, I am going to be taking this season. So we'll get Ivan on for another 20-minute spell up front. Did I change Luis? I need to make him. I need to do that thing where it automatically switches him over to an advanced forward when he comes on. I just think he'll really struggle if we try and force him into playing the style of football that Kevin Carlos plays. Luis is a much more fancy footballer rather than the physical one that Costa is. They'd actually complement each other really well as a strike partnership if we ever decide to drop wingers and maybe go for the good old-fashioned diamond that everyone knows at some point in every series I will pull out a diamond. Might be this season, who knows? Certainly not if we're playing as well as we are at the moment, but if we start to pick up some injuries to wingers, it's certainly an option. We've got a couple of backup strikers as well, so we're not light on talent at centre forward this year. Isra then playing it over the top, looking for the run of Luis, who's got him behind. Rabiu is in the middle, just ready and waiting to grab another one for himself as well. It's now 4-0, and Rabiu he's decided he's going for Player of the Year this year in a team that includes Kevin, whatever his name is. I was going to call him Kevin Costner. He's probably not Kevin Costner. But Rabiu has decided that he's going to be Player of the Year, which is fine. Love a little bit of healthy competition between my superstars. All the young people now watching are like, what's a Kevin Costner? Shut up, young people. Shut up. Right, couple more changes, just with some tired legs at the back. We get Jimenez the opportunity to play it right back for the first time, which is his preferred role. And Christian David getting a little run out at centre-back. What a lot of fun for him. I mean, I probably, actually, when we're 4-0 up, because Maggio can play centre-back, it probably makes more sense to play them that way round, because that way, again, we're giving Christian David game time in the position we're trying to train him to learn. So every opportunity we get, and certainly in a game like this where we're well ahead and in no danger of losing, let's give him 10, 15 minutes playing in that role just to get him more and more used to it. So I think he's got a future playing in that role. It's always going to be tricky with Alex Boxall knocking around the place. But you never know, box to Boxall might still become a thing. And there's your first goal for Ivan Luis. Although, has the referee called that offside? He hasn't. It's 5-0. I don't know that I've ever had a team that has clicked in this manner at the start of a season. To be fair, it is largely last season's team. Certainly going forward, the front six is last season's team. So they're already very good. And then all we've done is plugged the weaknesses at the back. So that's why they've clicked as quickly as they have. We've fixed the problems and let the bits that were already good just carry on being good. But we are looking very, very, very good at the moment. And, it's about time. This has been a hard save up until this point. And now, Champions League in 4 years. That's the goal from here. We're that good. Luis trying to grab his second of the game. He doesn't want to become the forgotten man in a world dominated by little Kev. But there we have it. A 5-0 win to follow up on our 8-0 win. That is just about as good a start to the season as you could ever hope to have. Look at that. After 2 matches. Just giving myself a little round of applause because that was incredible. Good work, everybody. Good work, Kev. If you enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.